Ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I'm going to ask my doctor
about getting vaccinated
with Prevnar 20.
Texting enrolls you into reoccurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone. I went through it a while back. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The patented key ingredient is something called Testofen, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text STAPLE to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text STAPLE to 321-321. That's STAPLE to 321-321.
Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
Listen, you can't handle the truth.
It's about to go off.
Live from the WNSR Strike and Spare Studios.
Just a bit outside.
It's the McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Show me the money!
Call now at 615-844-5600.
Oh, righty then.
Now the McFarland Show with Darren and Justin.
We're off and running again on this Wednesday afternoon. Welcome into the McFarland Show. Darren and Justin here with you for the next 2 hours on this gray, rainy, crappy day. We'll try to bring some sunshine into your life. I do think, without me being a radio meteorologist, after today it's supposed to go away for a while.
That is correct. Today is the last day for the slog.
Yes. But then the temperatures are supposed to drop. So
yes, they are. 20s next week.
Yeah. Hello,
December.
There are some areas in the country that are getting blizzards, and we may see that this weekend in the NFL.
Oh,
we may see some snow.
As long as it's in the NFL and not here. Yes.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Yes, I'm in other markets. Preferably Buffalo.
Yes.
What I'm getting at.
You can go up there and do that.
Yep. All right, let's bring in Art Paducah. He's really known as Pat Sperduto. We're trying to do some good on Christmas morning. He knows a little thing about cold weather, even though he lives here. The Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Arrowhead in December? Ooh, or January?
I've been to Arrowhead in January.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
It can be a little nippy.
13 degrees the day I went.
Below.
Yeah.
Below.
Wind chill was minus 12 or something.
Yeah. Pat, what's up?
Oh, not much. It's that cold in November, too. Don't kid yourself. I went to the Jaguars game, and it was freezing.
Really? It gets that cold already in November?
Oh, it was in the 30s. That was freezing. It was awful.
Hey, Pat, there's nothing to stop the wind. That's the problem. I mean, once you get in that flat land, that wind comes flying, and that's it. It's going to do what it's going to do.
And the way the bowl is designed, it's got that it's got like a swoop that comes from the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
You've got no choice. It rips your face up now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It rips your face off. We're laughing because I think that's a good description.
It's rough. It's rough stuff.
The worst ever, and I think I've told you this story, Darren, was the playoff game when I was with the Titans up in New England, and whatever genius decided to put that game at night.
Oh yeah, I was there.
Mm-hmm.
I was there.
Mm-hmm.
That person needs psychiatric help because that was straight torture.
Yeah, they sit me up there for a week.
Yeah, January 04, I think.
They felt like they were, like that was a big honor to send me up there, and I was like, I was up there going, who did I make mad? Like, I got to do Bill Belichick press conferences all week, and it's like 2 degrees. And then by the time Saturday rolled around, what was it with the wind chill, Pat? Like negative 30 or something?
Yeah, it was. I thought it was negative 17 when I was on the field in pregame. Now, luckily, I went into the box. At least I thought. Luckily, I went into the box. But going into the box was even worse because there was no heat in the box. It was, you were just freezing there. It was like basically being an annex up higher, no heat in that box, and I was freezing. I still had my coat on. I still had gloves on. I was like, this is insane.
That was the new stadium, right, Coach? That was Gillette. That wasn't Foxborough.
But that's because the Patriots turned off your vents. That's why.
Well,
you know?
Yeah, they probably did. That's,
yeah.
That was human torture. It was not fun. I mean, my feet were frostbitten. You had to get a couple days of heat in order to just get back to semi-normal. It was bad.
Yeah, you guys never looked up at the ceiling. You didn't realize there was cardboard boxes taped over the vents.
Yikes.
You know?
It was nuts. It was nuts. And you had to walk through from the elevator to the box. You had to walk through the crowd. So that was not fun. It was like I said, that was whoever decided to put that game at night needs psychiatric help.
Yeah. I remember talking to Neil O'Donnell after that game, not there, but later on, like a week later or whatever, after the season was over, and I said, Steve McNair he could barely move in the fourth quarter. I mean, it was all guts. I mean, he could barely move, and I asked Neil, I go, did you want to go in, at that point, and relieve Mac because he couldn't move, and he literally goes, without any hesitation, hell no. He goes, I couldn't feel my body parts. No.
No doubt. I could definitely see that response coming.
You've been standing there on the sidelines the whole time for, almost 3 hours. You think you want to trot out there and start getting hit? No.
Oh, no. Oh, no. At that point in time, you would have been like a glass doll. As soon as you get hit, you crack.
Yeah, no doubt.
And Neil played in Pittsburgh and for the Jets.
And New York,
before he got there.
That's right.
So for him to say that's saying something.
Oh yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Well, that was a different level of cold. That was just a different level. I remember going out that morning in Providence at the Team Hotel. I was staying at the Team Hotel too, thanks to whoever pulled the fire alarm in the middle of the night. And I felt like what you just said, like the description of Kansas City. Just walking like across the street to get a coffee, it felt like my face was getting ripped off by the cold. Yeah. I mean, it was you almost couldn't breathe. It was so cold.
Yeah, it was awful. That was torturesome. And they're saying that it's going to get cold here. I went out this morning and I was like, holy mackerel! The temperature dropped with all the rain. I thought, okay, maybe it won't be that bad. And it was dropping as I was outside this morning, so I know it's going to get colder around here for sure.
It is, and let's segue into that because it's not going to get 30 below zero with the wind chill, but it's going to get cold. We're still in December. We got a long ways to go before we get out of the winter months, and we could use some help because when it does, which it's about to, when it gets really, really cold, there's some people that could use some warm items, and we're there to help, but we need some help.
Yeah, like I said yesterday to you, you got to start by thanking, of course, Yogi's Pizzeria in Creve Hall, and then Zach Pillar, who used to play for us when I was working with the Titans, and his three restaurants, Neighbors, and what a great little tagline for him, neighbors helping neighbors, and he wanted to get involved, and him and his wife just said, hey, look, you can use our places as drop-off sites. So I'll start by mentioning Neighbors in Germantown at 313 Jefferson South, Neighbors in Franklin at 4031 Aspen Grove Drive, and Neighbors in Sylvan at 4425 Murphy Road. And then, of course, we're going to do that remote out in Murfreesboro, which will be another huge help for us to just have opportunities for people to drop off. It's warm, new hats, new socks, new gloves, scarves, and then gently used or preferably new coats, sleeping bags, blankets, sweatshirts, shoes, and like you said yesterday, duffel bags or backpacks, anything that we can help make this winter a little bit better for some of our homeless people that are out there and just need something. They need a boost. They need something to put a smile on their face and let them know that we care about them. And that's what we'll do Christmas morning. We'll go and deliver all this stuff directly to them and hand it out and hopefully make their day a little bit better with a meal and some nice things.
No doubt about it. So from now until basically the end of next week, because next week is the week before Christmas. Remember, Christmas Eve and Christmas Day is next weekend.
Yes.
So Christmas Day will be next Sunday morning. You can drop off any of those items that Pat just threw out there at 3 neighbors' locations. But
and then don't forget, the final push will come out in Murfreesboro at this GMC Chevy dealership in Murfreesboro on the 22nd from 2 to 4 o'clock.
Our show will be out there next Thursday, Chevy Buick GMC of Murfreesboro. It's off the Medical Center Parkway exit, or off 24, the Medical Center Parkway exit. You can't miss it. You come up the ramp, and you're staring at it.
Right.
The official address is 960 John Rice Boulevard.
And I'm excited to hang out with you guys a little bit on that day and find out which McFarland is better. Is it Justin? Is it Darren? Maybe I'll give you guys. Maybe we'll have a trivia quiz for the two of you.
Ooh, wow!
And see who does better. I'll come up with some trivia questions for you guys.
Jeez.
Little Nashville sports history.
Oh, wow!
Okay.
Wow.
And
that's intriguing.
And the loser has to go get 2 more packages of socks. Deal?
Deal.
Okay,
Deal.
Coach.
Pat, appreciate it. You have a great rest of your day, and we will talk to you tomorrow.
You got it. Looking forward to it, guys. Thanks for everything. Thank you, WNSR, as well.
Thank you, Pat. That is Pat Sperduto. He was the head coach of the Nashville Cats back in the day, both stints. He was a coach for the Tennessee Titans, and now he's been with the Kansas City Chiefs for, I want to say, 12 years.
Okay. And for those of you who are really new to town, and you're going,
and he lives here, by the way.
What are the Nashville Cats?
Mm-hmm.
That was the arena football team that was in town for, as Darren mentioned, 2 different times. The Cats had a run here. So just for those who are wondering who or what the Nashville Cats are.
The second go-around, it was, I believe, a Sunday afternoon. It wasn't a Saturday afternoon. I think it was a Sunday. It was a Saturday or Sunday afternoon. Kevin Ingram, who's been on the show many times with us already, who covers Vanderbilt, he was at the game with me, and there were a couple girls sitting behind us, and we got to talking throughout the course of the game, and one of the girls has been his wife for a long time.
Wow.
It started right there.
How about that?
Started at a Nashville Cats
game.
The
magic of the Nashville Cats.
The Nashville Cats brought people together here in Nashville.
Andy Kelly,
and now
Tyrone Jones, Corey Fleming, and all that.
Happily married, and they have a son. And, yeah, it all started at a Nashville Cats game. How about that?
That's really cool. That's really cool.
Kevin Ingram, next time we have him on, he can vouch for that. Let's get into some news. By the way, Mike Sando was going to join us from The Athletic coming up in about 5-7 minutes, somewhere around there. We're going to talk to him. He wrote a piece on The Athletic about the Titans, and so we'll get into all things that article. Titans could become the Texans if they're not careful. That's the headline of the article. So we'll talk to Mike Sando coming up here shortly. You know, we learned that Cedric Tillman was going to forego the Orange Bowl. Well, today we have also learned Jalen Hyatt is going to forego the Orange Bowl. I don't think this, neither one of those are surprises, but it's just official, and we're putting it out there. And I just don't love the bowls like I used to. Like, I used to get into, Justin, for a long, long time. Man, I loved doing bowl pools. Loved it.
Really?
Oh, my gosh.
Okay.
Did them for, I don't even know how long. 2+ decades. And I haven't done them in years just because of where it is now.
Yeah.
Because you can't, how do you predict who's going to win games? I mean, you don't know who's playing. You don't know who cares. It's just so hard because a lot of these teams are like a shell of the 12 or 13 games they played in the regular season.
Yeah.
Because so many of their key players are opting out.
Well, not just key players. Some of them, their coaches have moved on.
Yep.
Some of their coordinators have been hired for other teams. They're moving on too. So, it's become sort of a half-hearted kind of effort depending on which program that you are. And listen, if college football isn't careful, and I don't know what they can do, but if they aren't careful, these bowl games could go the way of the, dare I say, the Pro Bowl. It could get that rough at some point. The NFL Pro Bowl, where they just stop having the game. We're just having a skills competition at the end of the year. Now, I know a lot of people look forward to the trips, and the bowl games are a reward for the teams. Some teams use them as recruiting measures and things like that. But, if you're the Vols, all of a sudden that Vols football team that's going to take the field against Clemson is very, very different than the one that took the field against South Carolina about a month ago.
Very different.
Yeah.
I mean, just think about the Kentucky team coming here. Their two best players on offense, Will Levis and Rodriguez. Quarterback, running back. Star quarterback, star running back. Not going to play.
No.
I don't know what Kentucky's going to be like. I have no clue.
And who can blame them? They can't risk the injury. This is a game in professional football where if you go out on that field, you are subject to heavy physical, work and getting hurt. And you're putting your whole life and career and future on the line for doing so. So these guys feeling like their future is elsewhere, not with this football team. They're no longer going to go out there and put themselves on the line. And, if you don't like it as a fan, then, listen, we gave you the best we got when we took on the conference schedule. After that, if we're not winning the national championship, then, if we win the game, we'll get a nice prize bag. If we lose the game, we're moving on to the next. And that's just the way it's going to be for the foreseeable future with this. And I don't know what, if anything, institutions can do to really stop it.
I wonder, and I know we've got a long ways to go till we get there. They haven't even finished the regular season. There's playoffs, and then, we'll eventually get to a combine after the Super Bowl in Indianapolis. But I wonder how, where do we think, just sitting here today, and again, subject to change, just today on December 14th, what we think, I think Hyatt's going to probably go higher than Tillman, but how high can he go?
I mean,
can he get into the first round? Is he a second round guy?
I think he can go in the top 20 myself. If you're looking for that physical, high ball essentially receiver, isn't that what we think Jalen Hyatt is?
Well, his speed is what's going to dazzle everybody at the combine, right?
Yeah, but
when he runs can he run a 4.3? I don't know. 4.3, 4.4. I think his speed is what's going to get everybody's attention first.
Yeah.
First. He was the best receiver in the country, so that'll also get people's attention. But I think his speed is what'll jump out.
Yeah. Here's the issue with Tennessee receivers. And I'm really interested to hear what you think about this. I find them very difficult to judge, because a lot of their big plays have come on busted coverage, and they were wide open, and they caught the ball, and, they look really fast when everybody's chasing them, but everybody's chasing them not because they just were that much faster. They were chasing them because the defensive back was straight confused about where it is they were supposed to be, and they got frozen for, about 2 seconds. And in college football, that's all you need. Jalen Hyatt and Cedric Tillman are going to cruise past you. And I'm not saying they didn't make contested catches and they aren't good physical. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that.
You're just saying that happened a lot.
That happened a lot.
And it's. I'm not envious of front offices and scouting departments that have to then try to translate, well, what does that mean? Because when you watch the film, there are so many good offenses in college football systems, like Tennessee's, this up-tempo, Oregon for years, right?
Oh, boy.
And you got to decide on quarterbacks and wide receivers, because in college, a lot of times, they're just throwing, as you said, to wide-open guys.
Yeah.
In the NFL, they're throwing to spots.
Really tight windows.
Spots.
Yeah.
Like when the ball leaves their hand, the receiver is not open.
No.
Okay? They're throwing to a spot.
They're throwing them open in some cases.
Right.
Yeah.
And they don't really do that a lot in college, and
No.
so it makes it difficult, the evaluation.
I mean, and I don't
on
know this
quarterbacks
for sure.
and receivers.
I would imagine there are a whole lot of touchdowns, and this is just me spitballing. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll admit it. But I bet you there's quite a few touchdowns for Tillman and Hyatt. They were just go routes.
Oh, sure.
They're just go routes.
Especially Hyatt, for sure.
And how do you judge that?
Yeah.
Right. how do you judge the go route? How do you judge the footwork on the go route?
Rarely happens in the NFL. Because go routes, guess what? That cat next to you, he's running stride for stride with you. And you're like, dang. What? Hey, man, I need you to go away. Like in college. Well, that's not how it works in the NFL.
No.
All right, we'll come back. Mike Sando from The Athletic. We'll talk to him next.
Nashville's first curling venue is here at T-Line Nashville. Come check out T-Line Nashville and experience the world's fastest growing winter sport today. Curling is a fun and simple sport that's a perfect outing for friends, corporate events, families, or parties. T-Line also has classic bowling and modern bowling mini games. With over 20 HD TVs, you can come watch your favorite teams and some of the best food and drinks here in Nashville in the large bar and grill area. They also have an outdoor area with a fire pit, and you can't forget the live music. T-Line Nashville is a one-stop shop for a great night out. Located at 106 Duluth Avenue and online at tlinenash.com. You can book your party now or give them a call at 615-439-1024. That's 615-439-1024. And make sure you give them a follow on Instagram and Facebook at T-Line Nash for all the news, events, and updates. T-Line Nashville. Nashville's first curling venue is here.
Hey, it's Patton Cook from Run With It. Let me tell you about my friends over at Smiles by Design. Dr. Dwayne Jones and his team focus on providing you with personalized, gentle care that you deserve. Smiles by Design are one of the few practices that offer state-of-the-art, needle-free cavity fillings. I started going to Dr. Jones 2 years ago, and he has completely changed my smile. They are located at 105 Threet Industrial Boulevard, Unit 1001 in Smyrna. You can visit their website at drdwaynejones.com for more information, or you can call them at 615-355-1033. Again, their number is 615-355-1033, or you can search for them on social media at Smiles by Design. So be sure the next time you're looking for dentistry services, give my friends over at Smiles by Design a try. And don't forget to tell them Patton sent you.
If you need a staycation or planning a trip to Music City, stay at Bento Living Chestnut Hill. Voted the best boutique hotel in Music City by the Nashville scene. Bento Living is located on the edge of bustling downtown. And if you're looking for somewhere to host your holiday party, whether it's an intimate gathering or a corporate celebration, they have unique spaces to fit your holiday needs. Visit bentochestnuthill.com for more information and reservations.
Get all your NASCAR news every weekday right here on The Final Lap. Hey, it's Kerry Murphy, and we are kicking off our look at the top 16 playoff drivers of the 2022 NASCAR Cup Series racing season. We are going to feature, let's see here, Alex Bowman, maybe even Austin Cindric. So keep it right here for the latest NASCAR news, driver interview, stats, and info every single weekday right here.
Hi, this is Tyler Reddick, and you're listening to The Final Lap.
Every single weekday right here.
Back here on the McFarland Show, here on this rainy, gray Wednesday afternoon here in Nashville. We're live here at the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio. Darren and Justin here with you. We now bring in Mike Sando from The Athletic. Really good article on the Titans. Titans could become the Texans if they're not careful is the headline of that article. Mike now joins us. Mike, before we get into what you wrote, I do want to just ask you, because we're in the bubble. We're here close to the forest. We're in the forest, right, with the Titans. I want to get an outsider's perspective of what took place. As you can imagine, we're a little over a week now removed from John Robinson being removed as the general manager of the Titans. What was your reaction then? What's been your reaction here over the last week or so? Obviously, it was enough to prompt you to write this article in The Athletic.
Yeah, exactly. We don't know for sure what happened. We're not privy to that. They haven't really explained it very well. I don't think. They haven't been overly forthcoming about it. It's unusual. Typically, I think the 30,000-foot view, the view from afar is, hey, You have a pretty successful operation. The coach has been real successful, has gotten a lot of credit. He's deserved a lot of the credit. All of a sudden, the GM's out, and the GM had 2 winning records, I believe, before the coach was there. So it wasn't like people were questioning some things about the GM, and the draft and all of that. But it wasn't like anyone had any reason to think this was going to happen. So the initial reaction from just about everybody in the league was, well, this looks like the typical kind of, power play here, and one guy lost it, the other guy was left standing, and that's what it is. That's the impression from afar, but I don't think that, when you watch Mike Vrabel, you don't get any feeling that he did anything actively. But when you're the one who benefits from something happening, or the perception is that you're going to benefit, or that, hey, you know what, they got rid of the other guy, you didn't really do it, but it was done with the knowledge of what the situation is there. That's where people's minds go. And I think what I wrote off of that was, hey, if it does head down the road of coach empowerment, be careful on that. Even if you have a great coach, that can lead to places you don't want to be.
Oh, there's no doubt. Look, what happened in the Titans division with Bill O'Brien and the Texans, and that power struggle and him winning was the greatest thing that happened for the Titans and everybody else in the division, because the Texans became irrelevant after, that thing just went to, what, in a handbasket. Yeah. I mean, between DeAndre Hopkins and Deshaun Watson, everything. It just, now they're a hot mess and they're completely in rebuild mode and irrelevant. So, look, we had the same thoughts when it happened. I mean, for like 48 hours, we're talking like, oh, I hope this is not the play for Mike Vrabel to be general manager and head coach. We did have Teresa Walker on the show yesterday from the Associated Press. She's the one who spoke to Amy Adams Strunk, Mike. And I have to believe today and yesterday after the interview, we do feel better, because it does seem like Amy Adams Strunk is separating church and state, right? She feels like both are full-time jobs. They shouldn't be occupied by one person.
I agree. So what you just have to figure out in the end is that a distinction without a difference? Because you can have somebody who does all that stuff, but kind of at the direction of the coach, right? Or in the case of the Texans, they replaced Rick Smith, had Brian Gaine do it, then a year later he was out or whatever. So I think this by no means means that Tennessee is for sure going to go down that path. But I think it was a legitimate concern to raise. When you look at, the coincidences or not are that Bill O'Brien and Mike Vrabel are 2 good head coaches with New England pedigrees who are known for having strong personalities, who probably won more than people thought they were going to win. If you look at, Bill O'Brien's winning with Ryan Fitzpatrick, Ryan Mallett, Case Keenum, Brian Hoyer, Brandon Whedon, T.J. Yates might have started a playoff again. They had Brock Osweiler, and they were going 9-7, 9-7, 9-7. And so, I think both of them also had winning GMs who were kind of suddenly out, maybe a little surprisingly. I think Houston was less surprising because we had heard in the media, hey, these guys are at odds. We haven't really heard that with Vrabel and John Robinson, so that's a good thing from a Titans standpoint. We didn't really pick up on that, even though we knew Vrabel was frustrated at the receiver position and I'm sure didn't like the A.J. Brown trade. I mean, those types of things happen. So I guess, we'll wait and see, but I think it's a good thing to, have in mind as we look at it from 30,000 feet and just say, hey, Titans, you've got a good thing going here. Be careful.
Yeah.
Because there's precedent for this. And, I'll draw from my own personal experience. I've covered the NFL for 25 years, and I was covering, the Seahawks when they got Mike Holmgren. He was a great coach, great play caller, but they gave him the whole thing, the GM and all of that. And, that wasn't what he was best at, and ended up taking it away from him. And after that, they went to a Super Bowl. So, as great as Vrabel's been, you would hope that they have enough of a strong voice there to, as a counterweight or a sounding board or someone to say, hey, wait a minute, coach, right? Because any of us, when we have a little bit of unchecked power, we do things that we probably should be talked out of, right? Any of us. That's true for everybody.
Right. That's right. It's happened here before since they've been in Nashville. this franchise. I mean, Jeff Fisher and Floyd Reese. I mean, it was a power play. Jeff Fisher won, and it ended up not being a good thing. Yes, he was never given the title GM, but look, he was running the show. We know that here, and that didn't work out. I guess the question I've got for you, we've had examples where this is played out. I think Eric Mangini was kind of had all the power. I mean, we've seen, but it never works. Is there any example of it actually working where one guy had all the power and he was very, very successful?
Well, certainly
both?
You would say Tom Brady. I mean, Bill Belichick has had the power there, and they've had a winning record when Brady was hurt, and they've probably been 500-ish since Brady left. We'll see how that goes. I think there is a general manager in Kansas City, but clearly, Andy Reid has had a lot of power over personnel for probably some of his Philly tenure in there. I think it has been done before. I think Dan Reeves was somebody who had been in that type of position with a lot of power, and I don't know if that power helped or hurt them, but he had some success. Mike Shanahan at various points had a lot of power. So, I think from that standpoint, a lot of those people may have had a little bit more seasoning or experience in coaching or front office type moves or just being around the league more than Mike Vrabel has. He's certainly been around the league a long time, but I think some of these other things are, newer for him, right? I mean, he didn't have a bunch of head coaching experience or anything like that, and he has gotten involved in committees and that type of things. But it's not like he has 20 years of personnel experience or making those decisions.
Isn't it crazy, Mike, that when you said Bill Belichick and the Patriots, yes, obviously, I thought of that, but we also, at least let me speak for myself. I'm not going to speak for everybody else. I don't view it the same way anymore because, for so long, it was always especially, sports talk radio, especially, who is it? Is it Tom Brady or Bill Belichick? Who's the one that's really, who's the better one? And it's like now that they've separated and they moved on and we've seen what both look like without each other, I think we've all come to the conclusion that it was probably more Tom Brady than Bill Belichick. And I know I don't want to slight Bill Belichick, but it doesn't seem like, Bill Belichick, the GM, is as smart these days since Tom Brady left. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I think so. I think they were a great team together because of the ethics, or not the ethics, but the ethos sort of that Belichick wanted to have a thing where no one's bigger than the team, and it was a huge part of his program. And that's huge. That's a great component for your program. And I think Brady embodied that, right? He was one of the guys. He didn't get special treatment. And so that combination worked really well together. If you look at a situation like Seattle where Russell Wilson tried to, be bigger than the team and all of that, and finally Pete Carroll said, we're not doing it. And they got rid of him, and their program actually is better, right, now than it was the last couple of years. And so I think there's a balance there. It's a partnership, hopefully, between the coach and the GM, or between the coach and the quarterback. So I think that component and Belichick's ability to manage that relationship with Brady for that long, ownership gets credit for that too. I think Belichick was a big, important piece of that, even if, of course, if he tried to do that the whole time without good quarterbacks, he wouldn't have had near the success.
The Titans are looking for a general manager right now, as you know. In your opinion, after 25 years in the NFL, which is the better route to go? The player personnel scout route or the former player that has an eye for talent, John Lynch and the like route when trying to hire a GM?
That's a great question. I think your ability that's it's almost like asking what's a better way to go to get someone who is an offensive play calling head coach or a defensive coach. I think that question almost distracts us from the most important thing, which is your ability to lead and bring people together and develop consensus and be organized and all that. I think I do want the GM to have a knowledge of personnel, and be able to evaluate. I think that's a big skill and something that's really helpful in that position. I don't think that means you just hire the best scout and have them do it either. It's a different, bigger job than that. There's a lot of management of egos and resources and vision that person has to have that a scout doesn't necessarily have. So I'm open to someone who has a little bit of a different background, but I think some knowledge of the game, knowledge of football, knowledge of evaluating players, I would want to have be part of that. Now, you can find somebody who does operate on the coach's terms. I'd mentioned the Seattle situation with Pete Carroll. Well, Pete Carroll was there when they hired John Schneider to be the GM. That can work to get a good partnership, but it takes the two people being able to work well together and defer and delegate and all of that. The coach has to know where his limitations are too in some of that. You can very easily get into a situation where the general manager is acquiescing to the coach, and then neither one of them, then the GM sort of can get the blame then when it doesn't go right. But it might have been the coach who they were drafting for or doing whatever for. Look at the situation in Indianapolis a little bit, where they kind of were getting the quarterbacks that Frank Reich wanted, for better and worse, right?
Yeah, it went both ways in that situation for sure. So here's a question for you, and I'm glad to be talking to someone who's looking at the league as a whole here, because you can follow trends and, because we're following one team in particular. Can you be over 50 years old and be hired for a GM job these days? I mean, it seems to be a young gun type of situation. Every time there's a press conference and there's a new GM introduced, it's always, a younger guy. Listen, I'm under 50. I mean, I want to be hired too. I'm not trying to knock myself out of the running for anything. I'm just saying, whatever happened to experience? It used to be the senior guy. He's been here 30 years. He gets the job. Now it's some guys and their resumes are kind of shallow, but we see something special in this kid. What is happening here as far as the young guns getting hired?
That's interesting. Maybe the most successful ones just made it. Maybe the guys just get fired before they get to be in their 50s. That's sort of a thing. So here are all the general managers who have 10 plus drafts in the role. Okay, and some of these guys are team owners. Okay, so here's what we got. We got Belichick, John Schneider, Mickey Loomis, Jerry Jones owns the team, Les Snead, Tom Telesco, Mike Brown owns the team. So those are only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 7 guys with 10 drafts in the job, and what did I say? 3 of those guys own the team.
Yes,
2 of them, Mike Brown and Jerry Jones. Mm-hmm. So then you get into that spot that John Robinson was in. Here's the guys that have 5 to 9 drafts in the role. I'm going to rank them by win percentage. Brett Veach had a pretty good quarterback.
Yep.
Brian Gutekunst had a pretty good quarterback. Mm-hmm. Brandon Beane went and got himself a good quarterback. Applause for Brandon Beane. He didn't he didn't inherit Aaron Rodgers. John Robinson, I'm going to give a little round of applause here because he's got a 67% win rate, and it wasn't like he inherited Aaron Rodgers. Howie Roseman's next. I'll give a little applause. I mean, that guy got knocked off the pedestal and got back into the job. Very hard to do. Won a Super Bowl. John Lynch, Steve Keim, Chris Ballard, and Jason Light, who got saved by Brady. So those are the guys in that window who've been around a little bit, but not quite as long. It's interesting to see who's going to make it. We have right now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 12 GMs right now who have only 1 or 2 drafts under their belt. Isn't that amazing?
Wow.
That is, and I'm sure a few of those guys, or all of those guys, are probably on the younger side of things. Is that correct here? They're under 50. Yeah. Let me just say it that way.
Well, of the veteran guys, Trent Baalke got hired. I think Trent's probably 50 or around that range. George Payton got hired. He's probably around 50, I would guess, off the top of my head. I don't know what Dave Ziegler is. He may be a little younger than that. Martin Mayhew was promoted to the role in Washington. It's kind of Ron Rivera's thing. So those are some guys who've been around. You do have Joe Shane and Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah, Omar Khan. I'm not sure how old Omar is. Scott Fitterer. Scott Fitterer's probably 40s, somewhere in there. Brad Holmes. Ryan Poles is younger. Nick Caserio's been around a little bit. So I don't feel like they're all a bunch of 30, exactly like 30 years old. There's a mix in there, but it's just hard to survive that long in that role. And look at the Titans. You mentioned Floyd Reese. I bet you Reinfeldt had a winning record. John Robinson had a winning record. Reese, I'm sure, probably had a winning record. Those guys won and got fired. It's hard. There's power dynamics and all of that, involved.
It's no secret that the NFL is pushing for more diversity, and I'm not going where you think I'm going with this question. and maybe you're not. Maybe you're not thinking what I'm thinking here. But how far are we away from seeing a woman as general manager of a football team here? Because the minority question is ongoing and should be ongoing, and we should be having that conversation. But how far away are we away from seeing a woman running a draft room in this NFL?
I think we'll see it in the next 10 years. That sounds like a long time. I mean, we're going to forget this conversation and get it recorded if I'm right. But I do feel like we are closer to that. And you can see by some less conventional hires in that role, right? I mentioned Kwesi Adofo-Mensah. He had a background, that's unlike other people's GM backgrounds. I think the teams in the leagues the teams are starting to realize that you can have different types of people in that leadership role, than just your traditional played football, right, and have that type of a pedigree. So now we're starting to see some women in coaching. We're seeing some women in officiating. We're seeing women in personnel. We're seeing teams actively try to mentor women in some of those roles. So I would certainly think we're going to see that because it's intentionally happening to develop them.
Last thing, Mike, on the way out, what do you think, John Robinson? Do you think he's going to get another look soon? Do you think he'll get another bite at the GM apple?
Oh, man, the second GM thing's hard.
It's hard. That's exactly where I was going with it. Like, why don't they retread GMs like they do coaches?
I don't get that either. I think everyone, for the most part, unless you have some kind of fatal flaw, is better after getting the second chance. I mean, we're seeing Steve Wilkes take over in Carolina. You think he's better than when he only got 1 year and learned a bunch of lessons in Arizona? I guarantee he's twice as good as he was before. I think one thing that also happens is, let's just say you're John Robinson, you've been a GM, you've been a decision maker. There's only a select number of teams that even want to hire you to any role because you could be perceived as having more insight or more power or whatever, right? And so it could be a short list of teams. Now, some teams have, like Atlanta has hired a bunch of former, people kind of in their front office from Rich McKay, Rustin Webster's there, Phil Emery's there. They have kind of collected those guys who've been in the GM chair, but a lot of places don't. And it is a big complaint among those GMs is, hey, we get fired and that's it.
Yeah.
We don't get another chance. So he's young enough and he's had success. I would think, like, if I'm John Robinson and I'm trying to sell what I did, I say, look, we did make some bad drafts. We did. But that everyone knows the draft's a little bit of a crapshoot, and you're going to have some misses. The number one job of the GM, get your head coach and get your quarterback. Rest my case.
Yep.
Because he got a really good head coach, and they got a quarterback without having to do the Trey Lance all-in, without trading for Russell Wilson and getting it wrong. They got a guy who's given return on investment over the investment. Mm-hmm. They've made a profit on Ryan Tannehill. So that's pretty good to check those two boxes. We can figure out the draft, right? I mean,
well, you would hope, but he didn't, and so that's why we're here.
Yeah, they gave Miami a 4th-round pick, and I think Miami paid like half his salary. I think the first year he was here, I think the Titans paid like $4 million. It was, look, they fleeced the Dolphins. Is Ryan Tannehill an elite franchise quarterback? We certainly don't need to go down that rabbit hole with you, but he's been, like you said, way above value to what, that was a great move at the time. It changed his franchise, for the good.
John Robinson would like to have Aaron Rodgers too. Everybody can identify that, It's not like he was like, geez, we'd rather have Tannehill. No, he did the best he could. He did who he could without screwing up the franchise for years to come.
Yeah, well said.
And going all in on someone who's available for the wrong reason,
Yeah, good stuff. Mike, appreciate the time. Keep up the good work. We'll talk to you down the road. Thanks for doing this.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
That is Mike Sando from The Athletic, covers the NFL. You just heard it. He's been doing it for 25 years. His latest article that he put out a couple days ago on the Titans was the Titans could become the Texans if they're not careful. We'll come back. Our phone lines are wide open the rest of the hour. 615-844-5600. 844-5600. More of the McFarland Show next.
Located at 5410 Murfreesboro Road in the heart of Laverne, City Slickers is one-stop shopping for all your liquor, beer, and wine needs and has been a multiple winner annually in the Best of Rutherford County voting for Best Liquor Store and Top Wine Shop. Featuring the lowest prices, the best customer service with unsurpassed knowledge, City Slickers offers the largest craft beer selection in Rutherford and southeastern Davidson counties and has beer on tap at its Growler filling station. City Slickers also sells mixers, sodas, snacks, tobacco products, and the Tennessee Lottery, and can place special orders and assist with all your events and even wedding planning. Make sure you follow City Slickers on all their social media or just give them a call at 615-280-7469. That's 615-280-7469. Located in the heart of Laverne, City Slickers.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Commitmas!
It's Bill King Commitmas 22 December. It's a two-day event, December 13th and the 14th. The night before, that Tuesday night, the 13th, will be in the Bill King Suite. You can come. You're invited. You don't need a ticket. It doesn't cost you anything. If you need a room at Commitmas at the Omni, we can get you a link for a special rate as well. The next morning, we'll be at Bar Lines, 6 until 11, right there in the Omni lobby area. To your left, we'll feed you breakfast. That's also on the house. Go to the WNSR.com site, and you'll see the Commitmas 22 logo on the homepage or my show page. Click the logo. That'll take you to that special link. You're going to love it. Bill King Show Commitmas 2022, December 14th on WNSR.
Greg Pogue back once again to tell you about Bongo Java, Nashville's oldest and most celebrated coffee company, now also located in the Omni Nashville Hotel. Reward yourself for surviving Nashville traffic with fresh, locally roasted coffee, classic handcrafted espresso drinks, and fresh baked goods all day long. And free Wi-Fi, so you don't have to work from home. Number one in customer service. You made it through the traffic. Reward yourself with a perfect pick-me-up at Bongo Java. Fresh coffee, delicious treats, great atmosphere. Open 6 a.m. until 2 p.m. daily. Bongo Java at the Omni Nashville Hotel.
Five-state forecast. Your exclusive national sports radio, WNSR Sky Scan forecast. Today's going to be mostly cloudy with widespread showers and it's about to thunderstorm for the evening. Today's high 60. Scattered showers overnight tonight, clearing toward daybreak, low 40. Sunny Thursday, high 54. Utilizing the resources of the WeatherBug Network and National Sports Radio, I'm WNSR's meteorologist, Jim Rinaldi. Sports Radio, WNSR.
Good stuff. Mike Sando from The Athletic back here on the McFarland Show. You can watch us every day. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube.
By the way.
Yeah, go ahead.
The World Cup final is happening right now as we speak over in Qatar.
Sure.
And I understand there has been a goal in the game over there for Qatar. And, you know, I'm only mentioning that because after the day, it's done. It's over after the day. So it's France 2, Morocco nothing, and the World Cup.
Sure, if you say so.
Okay. Just want to get that.
No, I mean,
now it's over. We don't have to talk about it.
I have no problem saying I don't care.
That's
I don't care.
You know,
I mean, I'm okay.
Well, today's the final,
I'm
so
okay.
Good.
No, I'm saying I'm okay, but I don't care.
Okay.
Because I've had this talk with group text of friends of mine that are still all in, and I'm like, we had the very spirited debate.
About why you should care about the World Cup?
I was like, they're like, you care about the U.S.? I was like, yeah, because I live in the United States. I cared when the U.S. of A. was playing, but when they're out, why would I care? It doesn't affect what we do. What happens in this game right here does not affect what we do here. Doesn't affect whatsoever. At all.
No. I mean,
he's like, and then one of my buddies like, well, you know, you go to Nashville SC games. He doesn't live here. I said, yeah, because guess what? It's an MLS franchise in our market. Yes, I live in Nashville. I cover sports in Nashville, and they are a team from Nashville. So, yes, I care. I care about the MLS because we have a team here.
Yeah,
but what if Morocco loses? Am I supposed to be upset?
I mean,
why would I care whether Morocco wins 7-0 or loses 7-0? I don't.
Oh, okay, man. I'm just saying it's a worldwide sports.
What do you
event,
think people?
And I'm just mentioning it here
I
because
know,
it's the last day of the World Final.
I know.
You know, and that's all. I mean, I ain't mean to try to push the buttons.
No,
I'm not trying to get you to care about it. I'm just mentioning it's the World Cup.
Do you
final.
care? Honestly, do you care?
I mean, it's
no.
all right.
Do you care? No. You had to look it up. Do you care?
I care who wins the World Cup.
Do you care?
No, I don't care.
Were
at all.
you like today? Like, whew, I got to remember to watch this while we're doing the show. We got to make sure we got it on the television.
It's not on. We're here in this. It's not on.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then there's my answer. You don't care.
It's not on.
By the way, we have two big TVs in the studio.
It's not on.
And we have remote controls, and you don't have it on.
Easily change the channel. It's not on.
Yeah.
Do you guys want me to turn it on?
You know what? Yes, turn it on because you know what I want to see? The celebration. Because the celebration, sports celebrations to me are so cool. So, yes, I love to see the emotions, the tears. It's on Fox. It's on Fox 17. Just put 1-7. It's right there.
Go. There we found it.
No, that isn't up. No, it's not what this is about at all.
Fox 17. I get it.
Listen.
That's cool. That's cool.
Okay.
I'll support Fox 17 too,
well,
and I'll watch it.
I appreciate
I'll
that.
watch it with you.
I appreciate
Let me turn around.
Well, there it is there. You see what's going on now?
Okay.
France, 2,
yes.
Morocco. They're in extra time now.
I'm pumped.
They're in extra time.
I'm super pumped.
I don't know what's going to happen. There's Morocco, I assume, in the red, right? So there we go. So it's Morocco 0.
Do
France
we think
2.
we're still having big watch parties here in the U.S. over this game right here?
Perhaps in certain pockets where there's a large concentration of the French or the Moroccans. Perhaps.
No, I'm not talking about those groups. I'm talking about just the same groups. When U.S. was playing, that they were
that kind of thing is not happening.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, listen, you really don't want to do they're not here, so I don't care about it, because you watch the NBA Finals and they're not here. You watch the Final Four and some of those teams are not here. You watch the World Series and those teams aren't here. So why is the World Cup any different?
Because we cover those teams. They are in our country. They're in our country.
That's true. I can't. Most of them.
Because that was brought up. Trust me. There's nothing you're going to throw at me that I haven't already heard from group text. I promise you.
So you cover hockey.
It's like
there's a good portion of the teams that are
you
not
watch
in the
Chargers and the Dolphins. That has anything to do with Nashville. It's like, yeah, it's the NFL.
It is the NFL.
It's the biggest sport in this country that we live in. It is the biggest. They have the highest ratings of anybody. In this country where we live.
Okay.
And we're an NFL city.
All right, man.
See how that works?
I do. It's okay. I didn't mean to push you off the edge with this, man. That's not what I said. I was just bringing up, it's a worldwide sports event. This is a sports channel. Just bringing up the score.
You just wanted to work in a Fox 17 plug. That's cool,
not
man.
That's
cool.
not it. It has nothing to do with anything.
Cool.
It has nothing to do with
Justin,
anything.
it's cool, man.
Okay.
Do you need to plug it again?
No, I don't.
Sure?
No, because it'll be over in 3 minutes. No.
On what?
They're in extra time.
On extra time on what? On Fox 17?
Extra time in Qatar.
Yeah, they're on Fox 17. Okay.
I'm sorry. You had a point before.
I
guess we got to go to break now.
I don't even know
we're
what
at
we're
the top,
talking
so
about.
now we got to go to break.
We stopped to tell everybody that France was beating
Morocco,
Portugal,
Morocco,
or something.
No,
Ecuador,
you respect the countries.
Panama,
Morocco.
or something. I don't know.
Oh, good grief!
All right, we'll take a break. Come back, wrap up the first hour next.
Are you looking for a trusted partner who knows AT&T business inside and out? ABS Communications is an organization built on the premise that telecom solutions and working with companies like AT&T can often be complicated, and the customer needs someone to help them navigate through these complexities. They make complex simple. Whether it's helping maintain, manage, or secure your business, ABS Communications is here to help with all your business telecom and mobility needs. Their business was built with the goal of simplifying the process of connectivity for the customer and establishing a long-term relationship of trust through transparency and accountability. ABS Communications is a top 5 AT&T authorized agent with over 200 years of AT&T technical experience. You can call Mark and the gang at 615-349-8588, or you can visit their website at abscomm.net. And remember, mention the McFarland Show to ABS, and you could get up to $250 in a Visa gift card for new ABS business customers.
Are you tired of your current vehicle? Maybe looking for a new or pre-owned vehicle? Hey guys, it's Zach. Hayes Nissan of Rivergate is the best choice for your vehicle needs. Located at 1550 Gallatin Pike North in Madison, Hayes Nissan of Rivergate has been serving the Middle Tennessee community for over 3 decades. That gives you confidence that Hayes Nissan of Rivergate can find the perfect vehicle for your lifestyle and your budget. Their friendly and knowledgeable staff will make sure you are taken care of. I should know because I've seen it firsthand. Every vehicle I've purchased has been from Hayes Nissan of Rivergate, and I love the entire process. Now, I don't want you to forget about their award-winning parts and service department. It has everything you need to get you back on the road. Go visit them on the web at nissanofrivergate.com. They're open there 24/7, 365 days a year. Or give them a call at 615-865-7220. Again, that number is 615-865-7220. That's Hayes Nissan of Rivergate, where your dollar always goes farther. Did you know there's a place where you can get good neighbor service and surprisingly great rates on home and auto insurance? Yep, and that place is, ta-da, State Farm. Here's the deal. State Farm agent Austin Hardy is your go-to agent in the Middle Tennessee community for the service you desire at the price you want. So stop shopping around. State Farm agent Austin Hardy has you covered. Call 615-810-9999 for your surprisingly great rates today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
It's the afternoon stretch with Zach Williams and Bruno Reagan.
You know what the Mets stand for?
Metropolitan.
Yeah, that one.
Metropolitan is a flavor of ice cream, right?
Neapolitan.
Oh, okay.
Was that real?
I mean, half and half.
Oh, man. You talk about throwing me off complete. My equator is gone.
The afternoon stretch. Afternoon stretch with Zach Williams and Bruno Reagan.
Oh, boy. Back here on the McFarland Show. I couldn't wait to get back from the break.
My bad, y'all.
Darren and Justin. Let's go back over to our World Cup desk.
Yes.
Justin McFarland standing by with this update.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Happy to report that it is over in Qatar. It is France 2, Morocco 0.
Congratulations, France. You won it.
No, wait a minute.
Wait a minute. What?
No, there will not be a trophy celebration today.
Yeah.
This was the semifinals, not the finals of the World Cup, showing you just how much we are following it.
Yeah. No, you.
Me.
Because I didn't pass along that score. You were.
That's true.
Quick to crown.
I did.
The French.
That is true.
World Cup champs.
That is accurate, and they are not.
Then during the break,
they are not World Cup champions.
I'm reading an article by Darren Ravel that was literally just put out minutes ago.
Yes.
And it's a bettor. Okay, we talk about betting on this show.
Mm-hmm. We do.
Okay, this bettor has a big parlay, a $26 parlay right now that is active.
Okay.
And if France wins the World Cup, which they haven't because they just won a semifinal
They won
game.
the semifinals.
Right, and then they play
the finals.
Argentina on Sunday, which will be the finals.
That is the finals.
Yeah. If France wins, he had listen how long this. He had the Avalanche to win the Stanley Cup, the Warriors to win the NBA title,
it was one of those.
Kansas to win the NCAA men's basketball tournament. Yes, it's one of those. Los Angeles FC to win the MLS.
Jeez.
Yes. This bettor, which it does not have a name yet. Daniel Forte, is that right? Which one is it?
I mean.
Yes, Daniel Forte. Okay. This was called a 7 champions parlay. And if he had Manchester City to win the Premier League, and his last leg is France, finishing this thing off. If that happens on Sunday, this person, Daniel Forte, on a $26 parlay, will take home, will win. I guess I shouldn't say take home, because there will be some things deducted. He will win $557,000.
Is that it? For all of that to go right, you should get more than that. You should get more than 557 G's. 557,000 G's. You should get more than that.
Am I looking at this right?
I mean, yes, that is $557,791.
Not bad for a $26.
Not bad for $26, but just to get all of those,
a little bit over $500,000. That's not bad. All right, we'll come back. Our NFL Top 10 to kick off the second hour of the McFarland Show. That's next.
On air and online, Sports Radio WNSR, Brentwood, Nashville.
ABC News, I'm Derek Dennis. The Federal Reserve has raised interest rates another 0.5 percentage point, trying to tame inflation faster. More from ABC's Elizabeth Schulze.
What does that mean in dollar terms? If you're taking out a fixed 30-year, $300,000 mortgage, you're now paying about $500 more every month than at the start of the year, simply because of those higher rates. If you carry a balance on your credit card, it's also more expensive to pay that off.
Police in Chandler, Arizona, just outside Phoenix, say one person is dead, another injured, and a shooting at an Amazon warehouse. Authorities don't have a motive, but say the gunman is dead and was not an employee of the company. A hearing on Capitol Hill today examined the collapse of FTX and risks of crypto investing. The former founder of FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried, is facing U.S. criminal fraud charges. He's fighting extradition from the Bahamas. On Wall Street, stocks moving lower on word more interest rate hikes could be in store in the new year. This is ABC News.
I wanted to know why some people who get COVID-19 get it so bad. I found out it may be because they have a high risk factor, such as heart disease, diabetes, being overweight, smoking, and asthma. Even if symptoms feel mild, these factors can increase your risk of COVID-19 turning severe. So if you're at high risk and test positive, there are things you can do, like asking your healthcare provider if an authorized oral treatment is right for you. Learn about an option at treatcovid19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
To protect his home and family from disaster, Steve used courage, wisdom, and his camera phone.
That should do it.
Way to go, Steve! By simply taking digital pictures of his family's important documents, Steve can always have them stored safely online, no matter when disaster strikes. Learn other simple ways to protect your home and family before a natural disaster at ready.gov. That's ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
Now is the perfect time to download FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Join today and get started with $150 in free bets guaranteed. When you place your first $5 bet, that's a free bet back. Your first bet doesn't win. Just sign up with the promo code WNSR. FanDuel has all your favorite bets, from the money line to point spreads to player props. You can combine your bets for a chance at a bigger payout with the same game parlay. With live betting, you'll get updated odds on games that have already started. Super easy to use. Don't fumble your chance to get $150 in free bets. Win or lose with the promo code WNSR. Make every moment more this season with FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NFL. You must be 21 years of age or older and present here in Tennessee. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued, non-withdrawable. Free bets that expire 14 days after receipt. Restrictions do apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call the Tennessee Red Line, 1-800-889-9789.
Listen.
You can't handle the truth. It's about to go off. Live from the WNSR Strike and Spare Studios.
Just a bit outside.
Now back to the McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Show me the money!
Call now at 615-844-5600.
Oh, righty there.
Now the McFarland Show with Darren and Justin.
Second hour on this Wednesday afternoon. Hope everybody's having a good day so far.
Yeah.
Let's do our NFL Top 10.
Okay.
We started going into week 5 of the NFL season. I'll do a quick recap.
All right.
So we can see how far or how different our top 10 looks or doesn't look. From, remember, going into week 5 of the NFL season, we're going into week 15.
Mm-hmm.
So I had Buffalo Kansas City, Philadelphia, Baltimore, the Chargers, Green Bay, Miami, Minnesota, Tampa, Dallas.
Okay.
That's going into week 5. You had
Mm-hmm.
Kansas City, Philadelphia, Buffalo, Green Bay, 4. Tampa Bay, 5. Minnesota, Dallas, Jacksonville, 8. Miami, and the Giants. Things have changed a little bit.
A little bit.
Yep. So with that being said, week 15 for me. No-brainer. Philadelphia is the top number one. I just don't know how you can dispute it at this point. They've shown, even though their schedule hasn't exactly been murder's row, they not only take care of business most of the time, they do it with authority. So Philadelphia is the number one team in the land. I had them number one last week, and so that's 2 consecutive weeks. The Eagles, number one in my top 10. Kansas City takes a big leap from 5 to 2. I've got the Chiefs at 2. Okay. Buffalo at 3. Move them up a spot. Had them at 4 last week. Move them up a spot to 3. By the way, this week, was kind of combing through this week's matchups.
Yeah.
Some interesting ones.
Okay.
By the way, 49ers at Seahawks on Thursday. That could be good. I think
49ers to Seahawks, boy.
I know the Thursday games have been duds, but this one at Seattle has a chance to be good.
Desperate teams there, especially Seattle. They need to win badly.
Who saw Carolina?
Tough loss to Carolina. If you're them,
at home,
you can't lose that game to them.
No, at home? Ugh, brutal. You've got the Ravens at the Browns. I think there's some intrigue there. Dolphins. And remember, there's 3 Saturday games this week. Keep that in mind.
Yes.
So you got the
There's no
triple
college
header.
football, yeah.
The early game is the Colts at Minnesota. I don't think that's going to be much of a game. I don't think. Ravens at Browns, and then the nightcap will be the Dolphins at Buffalo.
Okay.
So that's not bad.
Dolphins at Buffalo is a decent game.
By the way, the Lions are at the Jets
Okay.
on Sunday.
Fun.
We'll see if the Lions can stay red hot. The Cowboys will be down in Jacksonville taking on the Jags. So can Jacksonville, keep the momentum off the win here and somehow find a way to beat the Cowboys? Let's see. Patriots at the Raiders. There's not a whole lot going on there. Titans at Chargers is obviously a huge one. Remember, that is at 3:25 kickoff on Sunday.
Game. 3 o'clock game, sure.
3:25, right?
3:25,
3:25 kickoff on Sunday.
Check out the Monday night game.
By the way, Giants at Washington.
It's a big game.
That's Giants at Washington. That's
big game.
Yeah.
By
the way, the Commanders are not out.
No.
They're not out at all.
No. As a matter of fact, they may be in.
In fact, I was to say, they're probably in right now a little bit more than the Giants.
They're in the playoffs.
The Giants are going the wrong way, right?
Yeah.
And then the Rams, Monday night is Rams at Packers.
There you go.
By the way, in week 5, going into week 5.
That looked real good.
Boy, that matchup would have been we would have been like, woo.
You know when it looked even better? Back in April when they made the selection. It looked real good back then.
Yeah. So that that's not so much going into week 15.
No, nowadays it's like what were we thinking?
The 4-9 Rams and the 5-8 Packers.
Yeah, it's like when they turn the lights on at the club. He's like, what? Oh. Even Devlin got that one.
It looks so much better. That by the way, that's Devlin. He perked up on that one, didn't he?
Even Devlin got that one. Like, oh,
I've had that happen. It's like that hit home right there. All right, Philadelphia 1, Kansas City 2, Buffalo 3, Dallas 4, Minnesota 5. After Minnesota went to Detroit and got beat up.
Yeah.
By those kitty cat Lions. Tell you what, I've been telling you the Lions are smoking hot, man.
Keep telling me, man. Keep telling me.
Smoking hot. Minnesota is at 5. Cincinnati at 6. San Francisco, doesn't matter who they put under center. Doesn't matter. 49ers just keep rolling. Who was this? Purdy? That guy was Purdy.
Brock Purdy.
Yeah, Brock Purdy. And they didn't miss a beat. So they thumped Tampa. So San Francisco 7. And, by the way, if they win again, who do they have this week? They've got, we just talked about it. They beat Seattle.
Yeah.
San Francisco's going to move up.
Mm-hmm.
I think. Miami 8. Baltimore 9. L.A. Chargers in my top 10. Been a while since I've had the Chargers in my top 10. Let's see. Boy, I have to go back a ways. Going back. Is it going all the way back to the week 5? Maybe.
Well, they kind of collapsed there for a little while.
I know I had them in week 7.
Yeah.
In my top 5 in week 7.
You want to like the Chargers really bad.
I do.
You've been wanting to like the Chargers all year.
Yep.
And everybody's waiting for Justin Herbert to be that guy. That's why. Everybody's waiting for him to step up and, just say, I've arrived, now taking over games.
Well, and he's got his weapons back. And Keenan Allen missed most of the season. Mike Williams is back as well. They're getting some players back on defense. So, unfortunately for the Titans, the Chargers are kind of getting right at the right time. So that's my top 10.
All right, everybody.
What say you?
Here's what say me as we go into the top 10 for yours truly on December the 14th. Number 1, no surprise here, is the Philadelphia Eagles as the Green Birds continue their winning ways here, continuing to dominate in some cases here. Looked very, very good. No surprises. Number 2, the Kansas City Chiefs. I know the Chiefs have looked vulnerable at times. And yes, they have lost to the other super teams at the top of this list. However, come January, you got Patrick Mahomes and the other teams don't. You want to try your luck? Are you sure? We'll see. Kansas City, number 2. Number 3, the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills, the actual number 1 seed right now in the AFC. That means all games go through Buffalo, and they would get the bye if the playoffs started today. And you would have to travel up there and take on the table breakers up there in Western New York.
The Mafia.
The Bills Mafia. Breaking tables all the way and eating wings at number 3. Number 4 is a very dangerous team, and that is the Cincinnati Bengals. When they are playing with confidence like they are now, they can be tough customers. Cincinnati got the big win over the weekend over Cleveland, and they remain at number 4 for me. Number 5 is the Minnesota Vikings. The Minnesota Vikings, yes, they get thumped by Detroit. Here's the thing with me and the Vikings. Did they really need to beat Detroit anyway? Are they really all that interested in beating Detroit? I mean, sure, they wanted to win against Detroit. It's an NFL football game. They want to win. But, yeah, we'll see. Minnesota at number 5. I don't put a whole lot of stock into the late season loss there for the Vikings. They've got their division well in hand. Number 6, the Dallas Cowboys coming in at number 6 for me. So the Dallas Cowboys continue to have their somewhat of a mixed season, but, they continue to come out on top in a lot of games more times than not. So it's tough to to be too upset with them.
It's not always pretty.
It's not, though. No, they're leaking oil down the stretch. But, listen, a lot of us drive cars that leak oil all the time. We get from place to place. Number 7, those San Francisco 49ers, who I had out of my top 10 last week because I wasn't sure what the quarterback was going to do. I was like, I don't know if Brock Purdy going to come in here and you got to play Tom Brady this weekend. Let's hold off.
Yeah, what about that defense?
Let's hold off before we jump out the window with Brock Purdy here. But listen, they did the thing. Now,
about their defense.
Defense played well. Now, they're without Deebo Samuels now. Yeah, Deebo caught that knee injury. Yeah. So we'll see here. It's I haven't heard a whole lot, and that's not good.
It didn't look good.
No, it did not. Anytime you got to take the cart normally means you're going to miss some time. 9 times out of 10. If you're on the cart, now if you limp off, maybe you got a chance. But when you get on those wheels, that's not good. All right, San Francisco at number 7. Number 8, the Miami Dolphins, who are fading down the stretch here all of a sudden. Like, what in the world has happened to the Fins here as of late is what everybody wants to know. It looks like they were riding high, like they were killing it. And then all of a sudden here, the Fins are, we'll see. As they are at 8-5 right now.
Well, they lost to the 49ers and the Chargers on the road. That's not exactly easy games.
I mean, the 49ers is not an easy game, though, and the Chargers are a good team, I guess. We would say. Number 9, the New England Patriots. New England Patriots, yes, they beat a very bad Arizona team, but the point is, this is the NFL. They beat a bad Arizona team, but guess what? They beat them. They were the team on the schedule. They went out there. Their starting quarterback, tore his ACL. He's gone for the year. They got a coach out the door, but you know what? They beat them anyway.
By the way, more bad news for them.
For who?
Just saw this while you were
for the Cardinals.
Yeah. Wide receiver Rondale Moore, IR, done for the season.
Yeah, well.
I mean, their season's over. I'm just saying, again, Kyler Murray's done for the season. Rondale Moore's done for the season. Essentially, DeAndre Hopkins is done, right? Who's going to throw to him? I mean, they're a mess.
Yeah.
They're an absolute mess.
It's not good.
By the way, when Mike Sando brought up Steve Keim, I don't know who's going to survive. They may clean house.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I think they will.
Steve Keim's the general manager.
Yeah.
I think GM, coach, they could literally come in with a broom.
Maybe a fire sale going on right now.
That's right.
In Arizona.
It feels that way, doesn't it?
Buy one, get one free out there. All right. That leads us to number 10. And I hope everybody's listening loud and clear here. Here we go, everybody. Number 10 now.
Titans?
I had a choice as to what I'm going to do with number 10. Number 10 came down to 4 teams, all right? It came down to the New York Giants. It came down to the Washington Commanders. It came down to the Los Angeles Chargers. Get that vocabulary right. The Los Angeles Chargers. And it came down to your Tennessee Titans. Number 10 for me.
There it is.
It's the Tennessee Titans. And let me tell you why. Because unlike some of you,
I told you he's going to die on the vine. Now he's just doing it.
I have chosen not to be a prisoner of the moment.
Yeah.
And just say, well, the Titans are losers. And yes, the Titans lost this weekend to the Jacksonville Jaguars. And the Titans dropped to 3-10 on the season as Jacksonville continues their rise to the playoffs. Titans dropped to 3-10 after they were swept both games to the Colts. Terrible losses earlier this year to the Colts. But wait a minute. No, that didn't happen. Let's see. No, the Titans are not last in their division. They're first. They're first in their – wow. They're first in their division. Because they lost 3 in a row. You would think they were the worst team in football.
Well, the Bucs are first in their division, too, and I don't see them in your top 10.
The Tennessee Titans are 7-6, and they've lost 3 in a row. And you would have thought they were the worst team in football. And the last time I checked, they're still at the top of the division. They still control their own destiny.
The Bucs are, too.
They still have the opportunity here to do a lot of the things they set out to do if they can get healthy. And, yes, they've lost 3 in a row. They haven't lost 3 in a row almost ever. It happens. It's football. We'll see what happens. They can – I most certainly think they can. I'm not saying they will, but they certainly can beat the Chargers. And I know what you're saying. What have you seen to make you think they can beat the – I've seen NFL football. That's what I've seen. I've seen teams that look great one weekend and the next weekend look like trash. That's what I've seen. I've seen teams that one weekend look like absolute trash and the next weekend look like they cannot be stopped. They touch the Super Mario star and then the music starts playing and the next thing you know, they're running through people out there. I don't know if that's going to happen to the Titans. I know it certainly can until they're out of the division league. Listen, they're going to get a home playoff game. And they're number 10 on my list. And if you want to call me about it, invite me. I invite you. 844-5600. Our phone lines are open. Tell me why, the Titans should be in the top 10 of this list. I'm not ranking them ahead of the world beaters. I'm not saying they're better than Kansas City. I'm saying they are on the bottom half of the playoff teams that are currently scheduled to go to the NFL playoffs.
Please call. My co-host has lost his ever-loving mind.
Come on with it.
He's got a Fox 17 mug over there.
I do.
I don't know what's in it. Clearly,
it's coffee.
It's not hot chocolate or coffee. It may be hot chocolate or coffee with a little bit of something.
I don't play that.
No,
I don't do that. I don't play that.
Because you're just now doing this because we got tweets on Sunday. Yes, listeners. Who were going, Justin top 10, Titans top 10.
Oh, because they lost to Jacksonville?
Yeah. And I even texted, in our group text, Titans top 10, question
And what did
mark.
I say?
And I said, right then I go, oh, I see, you're going to die on the vine.
Well, I said I got no regrets.
You did. You said
I got no regrets.
And then no regrets. Now you double down a week later.
Well, so I'm supposed to move the Giants and the Commanders ahead of the Titans because they lost to Jacksonville? Yes. Just say yes.
The Chargers, you don't think the Chargers?
The Chargers, the playoffs start today. The Chargers will be at home.
That's not true.
Yes, it is. Look at the standings.
Is that true?
You didn't check?
No. There's the Patriots in front of them?
Yes.
Their Patriots are garbage. They're not getting in.
If the playoffs started today, the garbage Patriots would be playing,
They're not getting
and your
in.
favorite team, the Chargers, would be at home.
They're not getting in. All right. One of us is sober. The other one, I'm not sure what's going on.
Well, you don't even know who's in the playoffs.
I do. It's not going to be the Patriots, okay? You have lost your mind.
I mean, I don't know.
So
it says here they're number 7th ranked. If the playoffs start today, they play Kansas City.
We can come back. The phone calls are starting to come in because people just, I'm sure, are going.
Bring it. Who's up there?
Oh, boy.
Eric, talk to me, my man. We got to take a commercial.
All right, we'll come back. We'll get your phone call. 615-844-5600. You're listening to those crazy McFarlands here on WNSR.
Hey guys, it's Zach. Give the gift of play with a team at Play It Again Sports in Brentwood and Hendersonville. Stop in and stock up on a huge selection of new and gently used gear and equipment. Their 12 Very Merry Holiday deal starts Tuesday, December 13th and runs through Saturday, December 24th. The sale features over 50 limited quantity hot buy specials and 12 unique daily deal specials, one per day. So if you're looking for that perfect gift for the sports enthusiasts in your life, then Play It Again Sports in Brentwood and Hendersonville has it all covered for you. If you have sports equipment you no longer use or doesn't fit, you can trade it in for either cash for holiday gifts or for store credit towards your next purchase. You can be like me and upgrade your golf bag. I'm always in the Hendersonville store checking out the used golf clubs they have there, trying to fix my game. Make sure you tell them your buddy Zach over here at Nashville Sports Radio sent you, and give the gift of play this holiday season with the good folks over at Play It Again Sports in Brentwood and Hendersonville.
Where can you save big on Black Friday and go big on the holidays? Lowe's, actually. Find the prices you'll love this season, like $100 savings on a Blackstone 30-inch flat-top grill, now only $299. And your choice of a DeWalt 20-volt max brushless drill kit or impact driver kit for $99. Plus, find gifts exclusively at Lowe's, like a Cobalt 24-volt 500 CFM leaf blower for $99. Black Friday is here. Don't miss the deals at Lowe's. Home to any possibility. Offer valid through 11/30 while supplies last.
Geico presents Daily Affirmations.
Repeat after me. We are filled with an abundance of joy.
We are filled with an abundance of joy.
Also an abundance of questions. Good thing Geico has 24/7 claim service to help answer questions and resolve claims quickly.
Good thing Geico has 24/7 claim service.
We are also filled with an abundance of biscuits.
We are also filled with I don't think it works this way.
Oh, and jam. Don't forget jam.
To manifest more Geico in your life, go to geico.com.
Tired of the same old company holiday party and looking to reward your team with a fun night out? What about something different for a birthday party or group gathering? Hello, this is Philip Cox of Strike and Spare Family Fun Centers, and we specialize in group events no matter the size at our Tusculum, Donaldson, Hermitage, Murfreesboro, and Hendersonville locations. Plus, Hendersonville and Murfreesboro offer enhanced entertainment options with bumper cars, laser tag, roller skating, and more. 'Tis the season to have fun with family, friends, and business associates, and there's no better place to do it than at Strike and Spare Family Fun Center. Visit strikeandspare.com to learn about the group outing option. Strike and Spare, where fun is bowling.
It's a Bill King Show.
Smoked a turkey. Smoked it about 9 hours. You know the little red button? I've never liked that, first of all, and I don't trust it. The internal temperature is what you should trust, not the stupid red button. That red button never popped out either, and I was starting to get worried because my wife likes the red button. I don't.
Weekday mornings beginning at 6 on Sports Radio 560 on 95.9 FM.
615-844-5600. This show has lost its mind.
Come on, win
So
it.
now
It's
I know.
fun like
I was trying to figure out during the break what happened. Like, how did Justin just go completely off the rails, down the embankment, through the creek bed, hit a couple of trees, bounced off the trees, kept going on the other side into the lake, into the bottom of the lake? How did that happen? I think Devlin not playing the NFL pump you up music.
I did not hear that.
We didn't hear the music,
didn't
and
get the
I think
autumn
it
wind.
messed with your brain.
We didn't get the bells.
Like, we didn't get the cool NFL music this week. Like, Devin, we have to do that next week.
We didn't get the
because
bells or
this is what happens if we don't. Like,
and all the other cool stuff.
Justin is sitting here telling us during the break.
And get the NFL Films music.
He's like, I know they fired their GM. I know they just got smoked 3 weeks in a row.
It's not
I
good.
know
They're leaking oil.
this,
It's looking
and
real
I know
bad.
that. I know their wide receiver
looking real
doesn't know
bad.
what city he lives in. I know this.
It's-
He's like,
man, he got knocked out.
He's like, but I still think, and I go, and that, and you
He
think
did.
they're
He got
top
knocked
10.
out, man. He got hit real hard.
You think they're top 10 today? He's like, yeah, oh yeah.
They can be.
Yeah. All right, let's go to our phone lines. Let's go to Eric. Eric, what's up?
Justin, I'm sorry. You have lost all credibility.
How have I lost all credibility,
He's lost
Eric?
his damn mind,
What
Eric.
is going on, Eric? Talk to me, Eric. Talk to me, my man.
As Jeff Saturday would say when he used to be on Get Up, you are high. Listen, with all due respect.
Absolutely, my man.
And I'm sorry.
Come on,
you
with
don't have the Washington Commanders in their last 8 games 6-1-1.
It's
in
impressive.
Your top 10.
Very impressive.
I mean, come on, man.
They're
No
playing
other
well.
Nobody from anywhere else would have the Tennessee Titans in their top 10. You
No.
can't tell me they would.
No.
And not only that, guys, I guarantee you, if it was another team, if this was the Dallas Cowboys, if it was the Minnesota Vikings, the Buffalo Bills, Kansas City Chiefs, Cincinnati Bengals, I guarantee you would not have them in your top 10, and you can't tell me you would.
I just looked up on Fox Sports a few seconds ago. There was some analysts up there who have the Titans number 8 in their rankings. Literally 10 minutes ago.
That was posted on September 10th.
It was not. It was up there 10 minutes ago. Literally 10 minutes ago.
I'm sorry. I love the Titans, but some would say that you are drunk. I'm
not drunk, Eric. I promise you, man. Listen,
I love you, man, but I have to be
I love you too, Eric, man. You my man, man. I appreciate you, man.
But they're not a top 10 team. What are you going to have still in there if they lose to the Chargers this Sunday? I mean, come on.
Of course he will.
I might.
Look,
I mean,
Eric, he's going to die in the vine now. He's just I'm going to force the square peg in a round hole, and that's it.
Yeah. Because I would even have the Chargers if you didn't put them. At least the Chargers, who I think are playing better. They've won the last couple of games, and like I said, I can't put the Giants because the way they've looked, they're now, I guess, it's like 1-4-1 in their last game.
Yeah, I thought about the Giants.
They're going the wrong direction.
I thought about the Giants.
And if I could,
Giants
I'd put the
almost made it.
Detroit Lions. But the only reason I can't put them in is they're still under 500.
Oh, he will not. The Lions can run the table.
But Eric,
they'll never make Justin's
Hold
top 10.
on. Let me talk to my man Eric
Yeah,
for just
I
a
know,
second.
'cause
Let me walk Eric down what he just said.
He won't even look over here at me, Eric. He won't even look at me.
I can look right at you. I'll look right at you, Derek and Darren. And let me say what I gotta
Derek's
say.
my brother.
Yeah, I'm sorry. No disrespect
Are you calling
to
me
him.
Derek now?
No. I'm talking to too many people at the same time. Okay, so here's my thing, and I'm going to talk to you, Eric, while looking at Darren.
Hold on,
so
he's gonna
Darren
sip out of
knows,
his mug.
Okay, so Darren knows.
Take a sip out of your
I'm
mug.
not going to take a sip. I'm all right. I got it covered. So here's what I'm going to say here for you, man. You said you cannot put the Detroit Lions in your top 10 because they're under 500. Is that correct, sir?
Yes.
So, but aren't the Detroit Lions playing well right now? Aren't they playing great football right now?
Yeah.
But you can't put them in the top 10 based on past performance, right?
No, not
because they're under 500. But Eric, why are they under 500? Because they stank earlier in the year, right?
Yeah, but
Eric, I'm asking you, my brother, I'm asking you. If they stank earlier in the year, you can't put them in your top 10 because they stank earlier in the year. Why can't I put the Tennessee Titans in my top 10 because they were better earlier in the year? Answer for me.
You just
oh boy. Do I sound drunk anymore, Mr. Eric?
Oh, God. You're gonna down that
He is. I'm telling you. He's dug in, man. He's got a shovel,
I'm
a
dug in.
backhoe.
Rebut me. If I'm dug in, rebut me.
If you're going to use that logic, then I should still have.
You did. You used the logic, Mr. Eric. That's what you said.
Hey, wait a minute. If you're using that logic, then I can use the logic that the New York Giants should still be in the top 10 because they have a better record than the Tennessee Titans, and they beat them even though they're 1-4.
Now that is true. That is an excellent point. That is an excellent point.
So I could put them over the Titans then if you're going to do that.
That is true, and I almost did that for that very reason, sir. You are correct.
If my co-host didn't have Detroit envy and he wants to He wants
Detroit
to
envy.
punish them. Well, he wants to punish them.
Why are we
for the
envious of
last,
Detroit?
Not envy. That is the wrong word.
Okay.
Okay. My co-host wants to punish the Lions for the last 5 decades, okay? So he wouldn't listen to me when I told him the beginning of the season, when he said they stunk at the beginning of the year. What about that? They lost to the Eagles by a field goal.
They did. That's
Okay,
true.
they lost to Philadelphia, the number 1 team in the land.
Number 1 team.
By a field goal.
That is true.
Okay?
That is
They
accurate.
went to Minnesota and lost by 4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? They lost to Seattle when they scored 45 points and still lost by a field goal.
Boy, that's tough, yeah.
Okay? They lost against the Dolphins by 4.
Mm-hmm.
They had Buffalo beat on Thanksgiving and gagged it away and lost by a field goal. Does that sound like a crappy team?
Yeah,
By
that
the way,
sounds like
that's all-
5 losses.
No, that's all against really,
That
really
sound-
good teams.
That sounds
Right.
like L.
And so you want
L,
to give the
L.
Titans credit for beating up on who? The
I'm
Texans?
just saying, you're asking me about the
all
Detroit
these
Lions.
lousy
The Lions
teams they beat.
It sounds like to me the Lions continue to lose football games, which is what the Lions have been doing, which is why I don't understand. I mean, so you're going to bring me the Lions because they've made like the Detroit Lions have never made a late run in the season before. Like we've never seen this, Wayne Fonts. Like we've never seen this with Lindy and Fonnie. Like we've never seen this with
the Titans swept the Colts and beat the Texans. Whoop-de-whoop-de-doo. Wow. You're going to give them credit for all that?
And the thing is, guys, they've only beat one team with a winning record, and that is the Commanders. Every other team they've lost to has either been a team with a losing record or for the most part, for teams with winning records. Well, Jacksonville was actually the first team they lost to with a losing record.
So the Titans are supposed to just fold up the tent and head to the house because they stink? Or are we going to continue on and be 7-6?
They're not supposed to fold up the tent, but I can't have a team in the top 10 that's lost 3 in a row and only one game out of the 500. It would have been a different story if, let's say, they were 10-0. They'd probably still be in the top 10.
Yeah, it's silly, Eric. But hey, it's fun. It's fun radio. His top 10 is just silly. It's silly.
My top 10 mostly agrees with yours, except for the last one.
I know,
but now
but
it's
then,
silly.
I know, but then you just ruin it with
It's just
that.
one thing on the end of it. It's basically the same list, but my top 10 is silly. See how they do me, Eric? You see how they do me, man?
Yeah. But some would say probably Baltimore doesn't belong in the top 10. They're 8-4, but the last few weeks they've been playing crappy teams that just barely win it. They've got the easiest schedule in the NFL. But the only reason I got them in the top 10, you have to because of their record.
They're 9-4.
Which is my point with the Titans, Eric.
I did the
That's
same
my point
thing.
with the Titans.
I did the same thing. I put them at 9, and they're not. It's not pretty, but you know they're winning these close games against crappy teams. So By the way, they're doing it with backup quarterbacks.
Yeah, their third-string quarterback.
And backup running backs.
Yeah, and so is San Francisco. They're doing it with their third-string quarterback. Hey, but he's proven.
Yeah.
Because you got to win with what you got.
Yeah,
Guys, I'll
that's
get off
right.
and let you get some other
All
calls.
right,
Y'all
thank
take
you.
care.
Appreciate you, Eric, man. Appreciate you, man.
Gosh, I look forward to it every week, but man, that's so we'll see. Well, now it'll be let's see. Moving forward, it'll be Justin's top 9 because we'll go on and pencil the Titans in.
You know, I thought
for one of
about
those spots.
abolishing the 10 spot, but then it wouldn't be the top 10.
Yeah, it'd be.
Yeah, that doesn't work. It has to be 10.
Difficult.
It has to be 10.
Look, I don't want it to come off as like, Titans hater. Like that's not the point. The point is, I'm trying to be objective here.
I don't think you guys are hating on the Titans.
They're
and I
not
don't
a top
think,
10 team in the league.
I don't think you guys are hating on the Titans, and I don't think I'm necessarily having a Titans love fest over here. I'm just simply saying, of the NFL's top, there's 32 teams in the National Football League. We're going to get to the playoffs coming up here pretty soon. They've aligned the divisions the way they've aligned them. This is the same conversation we've had about college football. Well, it's not fair, but whose fault is that they over here in this division? I don't know. They didn't pick the division. The division was laid out like this.
Okay, so you have put them in your top 10 of 32 teams. You believe they are a top 10 team in the league. Give me their strengths. Tell me what you like about them. Tell me about all the things you love about the Titans on why they deserve to be in the top 10 in the league.
Well,
what do you like about them? What's their strengths?
Well, occasionally they can run the ball.
No. So occasionally they can run the ball. That's a strength.
Occasionally they can run the ball. That is a strength. Occasionally they can get after the quarterback when they're healthy. They're not. occasionally they play very good field position because they have an excellent punter who's had a couple of down weeks. But, overall he's had a really good year.
Bringing up the punter. Okay.
I am bringing up the punter. What's the problem with the punter?
The punter.
Is the punter not part of the football team?
By the way,
how many phases of the game
you
are
went
there?
straight to the punter.
Is there 3 phases of the game? I didn't go straight to the punter. I named two other things first, and then I went to the punter. So I didn't go straight to the punter.
2 occasional things, and then a punter?
I'm just saying, is there 3 phases to the game or just 2? How many phases we got?
What else we got?
I mean, do we have other phases?
The kicker,
did I miss it?
Special team, what you got?
Yeah, I'm just saying, there's offense, defense, special teams, right?
Special teams.
Is the punter not part of special teams, or is he just hanging out? Okay.
Sure.
I'm just saying. I mean, we want to ask questions.
When I think of top 10, I think of teams with a good punter. Sure.
I mean, it's part of the whole.
Okay. What else? What else you got? So you had a couple occasionals, a punter. What else is strong about them?
Yeah, their football coach is really good.
Okay. I mean, you buried the lead. I'd probably start with there, but okay.
Well, how come I can't start with what I want to start with? How
Because
come I got to start with what you want me to start with?
Because that's number one. That's number one, period.
It's number one to you. How come it can't be number one to me?
Because you didn't say occasional. He coaches good. You said.
So I got to repeat it the way you said I got to repeat it? Is that the only way it counts? I didn't know that's the only way it counts.
So. I think so.
Well, I'm
yeah,
sorry. I'm sorry I missed it like that. Okay. So, yeah, are they world beaters? No, of course not, everybody. No, I'm not saying they're world beaters. I'm not saying they're going to go win the Super Bowl.
Let's get back to your list. What else you got? What else?
That's about it.
That's it. So they got.
Yeah.
So let's go over this again.
Yeah, sure.
So they're a top 10 team in the league with 32 teams. They occasionally run the ball good.
Mm-hmm.
Occasionally they get after the quarterback. I don't know when's the last time they got after the quarterback. What was that? September?
3-4 weeks ago, yeah.
Maybe some October games, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're in December.
Come on, with
their punter, they've got a fantastic punter, which I'm not arguing that, but great.
He's
a good punter.
Rookie.
And they've got a good coach.
Yes.
So
good coach.
That's what you've got for a top 10 team in the league.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. All right.
And really, they're top 10 not because of those things. They're top 10 because they've won 7 of their 13 games. And that's why they're top 10.
Okay.
And however they did it, if you want to say, well, they don't deserve the wins, that's fine. And by the way, you mentioned the Detroit Lions and how great they were because of all their close losses. The Titans, I'm sure, all their losses have been blowout losses, right? All of them? All of them been blowouts, right? I know 2 of them have, but all of them been 3 of them. All of them been blow-off losses? All of them? Because, that loss in Kansas City was a real blowout, right?
Okay. That's a good game. Okay, I get it.
So I'm just saying,
that's your.
If you want to give the Lions credit for their close losses, the Titans don't get any credit for their close losses.
They also went to Buffalo and lost 41-7.
They did, and the Lions have got blown out too. But the Lions apparently are the best team in football now.
I'm just saying right now, if you look at the way teams
are
playing right now,
you got to be careful running up on me.
The Lions are playing better than the Titans. Period. That period.
Well, let's see.
It's that they are playing better football right now today than the Titans. If they played each other right now, as I told you last week, the Titans would be the underdog against the Lions.
So does that mean they would lose because they're the underdog?
Well, I told you last week they were the favorite over the 10-win team Vikings, and you laughed, and they beat them. And they led throughout. They led almost the entire game.
I did.
So,
but I'm just asking, because they're the underdog, does that mean they're going to lose a football game?
No. I'm just saying. They're
the underdog, but the underdog doesn't mean that just means that's what Vegas thinks. Vegas is right most of the time.
They're kind
of
smart.
Also very wrong too.
They're kind of smart.
They are. Oh, no question about that. Oh, they make a lot of buildings because they're very smart.
Yeah, they're nice buildings.
Oh, yeah, boy, they're really nice.
Yeah.
And they're expensive. They can afford it.
They are.
Yeah.
G Pander on Twitter said there's a lot. He just did a GIF of a live looking at the show right now. I can't do it justice on radio.
I can't see.
You'll just have to go look at it.
I'm not on Twitter yet.
It's a live look at you.
Okay.
Right now on the show.
Okay, let's hope it's kind. Let's hold on. Listen, we have to take a peek
it's a man in a very deep hole with a shovel.
Hey, listen. That's fine with me. If people want to call me I see it. Oh, isn't that nice? He's working on it. Maybe he'll find something down there eventually.
It looks pretty deep.
It does look pretty deep.
Down that hole.
It looks pretty deep. Boy, that's not good.
Oh,
but,
man.
Listen, this is what it's all about, and it's fun, and I'm glad everybody's enjoying it. But, listen, I know this, and I've been through a whole lot of NFL football seasons. Things change week to week all the time. Teams have losing streaks. Teams get healthy again. They have winning streaks. Teams look like poo-poo. Next week, teams look like a feast. It's just, So, I'm going to judge the team based on where I think they are as well as their total body of work. If people want to judge the team on other things, that's on them. And that's cool. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm going to defend myself when you come after me. That's all. I'm not trying to say your list is trash. I'm just saying when you come after me, this is,
Mississippi State is expected to promote, and I had heard this today, that it seemed like this is where they were going. I'd seen some chatter about this. Zach Arnett, they're going to promote him to interim coach. And I think, actually, they promoted from interim coach to permanent head coach. That's what I was getting at. Yeah, okay. I had seen that it was going to, I threw out yesterday that, wouldn't be a bad idea for them to maybe wait around on Cliff Kingsbury when he gets fired, but you were like, nah. Also, it's seen some chatter about bringing back Dan Mullen. Although that was interesting.
That is.
But then when I kept continuing to see the chatter, it looked like Zach Arnett was going to give his upper. Because apparently they're very high on him, and other schools, bigger schools, have come after him, and he has stayed put in Starkville. So looks like they are prepared to keep Zach Arnett around and make him the new head coach after the tragic news of Mike Leach. We'll take a break. We'll come back. More of the McFarland Show. We're wide open the rest of the way. If you want to jump in there and talk to us, 615-844-5600, Nashville Sports Radio.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone. I went through it a while back. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The patented key ingredient is something called Testofen, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text STAPLE to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text STAPLE to 321-321. That's STAPLE to 321-321.
Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
Attention. If you owe back taxes to the IRS, this message is for you. Congress has passed $80 billion in funding to more than double the size of the IRS. 87,000 new IRS employees means more audits, collections, and penalties. This will make the IRS larger than the Pentagon, State Department, FBI, and Border Control combined. Now is the time to call Civic Tax Relief.
I owe the IRS $37,000. Civic Tax Relief basically represented me against the IRS, and by the time everything was completed, I didn't owe the IRS anything.
Their tax resolution specialists can stop the IRS from taking money out of your paycheck.
With Civic Tax Relief, they were able to save me upwards of $80,000 that I would have had to pay.
For your free tax relief information, call now. 800-841-0908. 800-841-0908.
I would recommend anyone who has a tax problem to contact Civic Tax Relief.
800-841-0908.
Hey Nashville, Ray here from Run With It. Let me tell you about our sponsor, Boom Boss Craft Pizza and Tap House. And with 4 locations in Bellevue, Murfreesboro, Spring Hill, and East Nashville, they're your home for the best gourmet pizza and craft beers in Music City. Join me on Monday nights at the East Nashville location for poker night. And if you think you know everything, try Wednesday night trivia at both locations. Gourmet pizzas, craft beers, online at boombozz.com. Boom Boss Craft Pizza and Tap House.
WNSR Nashville Sports Radio would like to take this time to say congratulations to Greg Poe. Greg is a member of the 2023 class of the Tennessee Sports Writers Association Hall of Fame. Greg Poe has been a standard and staple of Nashville sports media. Congratulations to Greg Poe and the rest of the 2023 class of the Tennessee Sports Writers Association Hall of Fame. From your friends and family at WNSR Nashville Sports Radio.
Now's the perfect time to download FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Because right now, new customers get a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. That's free bets back if your first bet doesn't win. Use the promo code WNSR. FanDuel has all your favorite bets from money line to point spreads to player props. You can combine your bets for a chance at a bigger payout with same-game parlays. Plus, they have live betting where you can get updated odds on games that have already started. You can get your winnings paid fast. It's all on the app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use. Again, use that promo code WNSR for your no-sweat first bet. That promo code WNSR. Make every moment more this season with FanDuel, the official sports book partner of the NFL. Remember, you must be 21 years of age or older and present here in Tennessee. First online real money wager only. Refund issued on non-withdrawable free bets that expires in 14 days. Restrictions do apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call Tennessee Redline 1-800-889-9789. Yes, it's never too early to look at a mock draft.
Not
Apparently,
at all.
Todd McShay is already doing that on ESPN.com. So, right now, the Houston Texans in the Titans division in the AFC South currently hold the number one spot, and he's got them taking, no surprise, a quarterback, Bryce Young out of Alabama. I would be surprised if Bryce Young is not the first pick.
I would
You
be
agree?
as well. I would agree with that.
Okay. Seattle has the second pick. That's courtesy of the Russell Wilson trade. They would take Jalen Carter, the big D tackle out of Georgia. So Seattle taking Jalen Carter. Surprised me a little bit. Chicago Bears. The Bears at number 3. Will Anderson from Alabama.
Now, that is an interesting debate. Will Anderson versus Jalen Carter.
Yeah.
That is, I would need to think about that a little bit.
Me too. The Detroit Lions, courtesy of the L.A. Rams. That's going back to is that the Jared?
I think it's the Matthew Stafford
trade.
Yeah.
Jared Goff came in the trade. Yeah, the Matthew Stafford trade. So the Lions would get the 4th pick. Todd McShay's got them taking C.J. Stroud.
I mean,
I don't love that at 4. Just right. I know this is December, but I don't love that at 4. Personally,
it seems like a reach at 4, doesn't it? I mean, unless you're just sold on C.J. Stroud, and we're going to get into this, coming down the line.
We'll have
here,
plenty of time to do all this. I know,
this is that's tough right now.
And we don't have to. So let's just skip ahead.
Sure.
Just give you some notable names. The Falcons at 6. Will Levis, quarterback, Kentucky. I don't know. 6th pick in the draft. I don't know. Really? I just don't see it. I watch Will Levis, and I just don't see the 6th pick in the draft, personally. Again, it's December. I get it. They've got the Colts with the 7th pick, taking the offensive tackle from Northwestern. Obviously, they need to protect their quarterback. Who the heck is going to be their quarterback is the bigger question. Let's see. Some other notable names. Scrolling through. Wow, how about this? Carolina Panthers at 11, taking quarterback Anthony Richardson from Florida.
I don't see that.
11th pick in the draft?
There's no way.
The 11th pick in the draft?
I don't see that.
Anthony Richardson?
Yeah.
Okay. The Texans would have the 12th pick as well, and they've got Tom McShay's got him taking the tight end from Notre Dame, Michael Mayer. I know
really
everybody's
good.
Yeah, everybody's
very
high
good
on him. Jags with the 13th pick, wide receiver TCU, Quentin Johnston. Scrolling through, let's see. When does he have the Titans?
22nd.
22nd. Titans at 21 taking
22nd
taking wide receiver from the Ohio State, Jackson Smith.
Now, let's bring in our Ohio State correspondent, Devlin McKenzie here. Devlin, tell us about the wide receiver there out of Ohio State and why he is worthy of a first-round pick.
Obviously didn't really play much this season due to a lot of just injury and stuff like that he was battling, and I think a lot of that
would sound consistent with some of their last draft picks, continue.
I think a lot of that has to do with him actually just saving himself for the draft because he probably put on the best performance in bowl game history against Utah last year in the Rose Bowl. He had 357 yards, 15 receptions, 3 total touchdowns, and put on an absolute show. I think he's definitely worth the first-round pick, and I think that game alone solidified it. I think that may be why he's sitting out most of this season and also the college football playoffs, which is honestly a pretty big deal. So I think the Titans would be getting a great player out of him. Am I biased a little bit? But there's my synopsis of him.
If John Robinson was still the general manager, I would say Todd McShay's on to something.
I don't know about that, Darren.
This franchise is probably going to steer pretty clear of any red flags.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
And I'm saying red flags as in he was lights out last year, but
year before
he barely played this year.
Yeah, he was lights out the year before.
Yeah, he barely played this year.
Yeah,
right. What was he dealing with? A hamstring injury, right?
Yeah, and I think honestly, I think he was healthy most of the season. I just think he didn't want to play so that he could be healthy for a draft.
Yeah, see, now that sounds like a red flag there because and here's why would you hold him responsible? Because that's the same guy that will probably be likely to hold out, for a contract or something like that. Because he's trying to get what he thinks he's worth, and there's nothing wrong with that. I understand that line of thinking, but football teams are going to want somebody who wants and loves to play football, and if you're holding yourself out, I think it sends a mixed message to GMs. Now they may see it differently. They may see it as a smart thing to do. This kid's saving himself to make sure he's ready to go pro. Nothing wrong with that. Get your money, man. So, it'll be interesting to see what happens or how GMs view that decision, if that's indeed what he decided to do.
Yeah, I think they're going to go safe, safe, safe. I just think that if there's any question marks, they're probably not going to take them. If there's concerns, and honestly, that's why he would be at 22, right? Because there's question marks. That's the only reason we're talking about him at 22. We know his talents are tremendous. So he'd probably be going higher if it wasn't for that. I find it, like I said, if John Robinson was still the GM, then, I get it, because we all know he certainly wasn't afraid of red flags. It unfortunately cost him his job. It played into him losing his job last week. Just players that, Caleb Farley had red flags everywhere. I mean, it doesn't help whenever there's, it gets out there that other teams come out and say, yeah, we just completely took him off our board.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
I mean, that doesn't help the situation.
No.
So
the other thing, real quick, Darren, that sticks out in this draft that Todd McShay's put up is I'm seeing 5 offensive tackles come off the board before the Titans even get to pick. Now, I don't know if these are left tackles or right tackles or what the deal is, but it's no secret that the Titans may be looking to move on from Taylor Lewan. And if so, they're going to need a brand-new left tackle. And so far, from what I've seen, the draft seems to think, this particular draft, Todd McShay seems to think there's at least 5 offensive tackles worthy of a first-round pick. Now, how many of our left tackles? I'm not sure. How many even fit the Titans scheme? I'm not really sure. But I find that very interesting, and I find that it's interesting that the cupboard might be bare of these tackles by the time the Titans get to the pick.
Well, the left tackle is no different than the quarterback position in the NFL. Teams force themselves to make the pick, right? I mean, they're going to go, even if they overpick, right? Even if they select them higher than they should go,
Reach
just
a little
because
bit.
they reach. Yeah, because teams are desperate for a left tackle to protect their quarterback, and teams are desperate for a quarterback. So you're going to see teams reaching for offensive linemen, in particular left tackles, and the quarterback position every year in the draft.
Yeah.
Just will. Look at those names. Look at those quarterbacks. I'm sorry. I just don't see it. I don't see it. Anthony Richardson and Will Levis, both guys, basically top 10 picks. No, I don't see that at all.
And by the way,
don't see it.
No Tennessee Volunteers.
No.
Anywhere in this first round.
Nope.
Draft.
I was a little surprised too.
That
All right, we'll come back. Step away for the final time. Come back and wrap up Wednesday's edition of the McFarland Show next.
Nashville's first curling venue is here at T-Line Nashville. Come check out T-Line Nashville and experience the world's fastest growing winter sport today. Curling is a fun and simple sport that's a perfect outing for friends, corporate events, families, or parties. T-Line also has classic bowling and modern bowling mini games. With over 20 HD TVs, you can come watch your favorite teams and some of the best food and drinks here in Nashville in the large bar and grill area. They also have an outdoor area with a fire pit, and you can't forget the live music. T-Line Line Nashville is a one-stop shop for a great night out. Located at 106 Duluth Avenue and online at tlinenash.com. You can book your party now or give them a call at 615-439-1024. That's 615-439-1024. And make sure you give them a follow on Instagram and Facebook at T-Line Nash for all the news, events, and updates. T-Line Nashville. Nashville's first curling venue is here. Located at 5410 Murfreesboro Road in the heart of Laverne, City Slickers is one-stop shopping for all your liquor, beer, and wine needs and has been a multiple winner annually in the Best of Rutherford County voting for Best Liquor Store and Top Wine Shop. Featuring the lowest prices, the best customer service with unsurpassed knowledge, City Slickers offers the largest craft beer selection in Rutherford and southeastern Davidson counties and has beer on tap at its Growler filling station. City Slickers also sells mixers, sodas, snacks, tobacco products, and the Tennessee Lottery, and can place special orders and assist with all your events and even wedding planning. Make sure you follow City Slickers on all their social media or just give them a call at 615-280-7469. That's 615-280-7469. Located in the heart of Laverne, City Slickers. If you need a staycation or planning a trip to Music City, stay at Bento Living Chestnut Hill. Voted the best boutique hotel in Music City by the Nashville scene. Bento Living is located on the edge of bustling downtown. And if you're looking for somewhere to host your holiday party, whether it's an intimate gathering or a corporate celebration, they have unique spaces to fit your holiday needs. Visit bentochestnuthill.com for more information and reservations.
New Year's Eve in Nashville has a new twist this year.
Touchdown, right up the middle, 45 yards.
The 25th annual Trans Perfect Music City Bowl is Saturday, December 31st at 11 a.m.
Still on his feet, touchdown!
Get your ticket to the biggest party in Nashville as the Iowa Hawkeyes and Kentucky Wildcats square off at Nissan Stadium. For more information on this year's game, including ticket availability, visit MusicCityBowl.com. Presented by the Tennessee Lottery.
Back here on the McFarland Show, we talked about it yesterday. Alex Doherty.
Yes, we did.
I told you the Preds are going to have to score to beat Edmonton. No secret there.
And they did.
They did, but they didn't score enough.
No.
Empty netter, so 6-3, but really Edmonton put 5 on them. Couple power play goals were the death knell. And, man, this just in. Nothing breaking about this statement, but Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid are just stupid good. Just stupid good. I think Draisaitl is just, I mean, and it's hard to say McDavid and Draisaitl just kill the Preds because they kill everybody, right? They both have like 100 points every single year. So it's
Peyton Manning really kills the Titans.
Right, they destroy.
Yeah,
Those
okay.
types destroy everybody. So I think Draisaitl had 5 points last night. McDavid had 4. It was just, they're just so, like that McDavid power play goal is like, really? Are you kidding me with this? Like, what do you even do about that? Like, he went through the Predators' defense like a hot knife through butter, man. Just bobbing and weaving, zip, zip, back of the net. Thanks for playing.
And now this team has to get on the plane and go play Winnipeg.
Yeah, who's having a great year. Great year.
I mean, I heard some of what the head coach had to say last night after the game, and I know he's trying to remain positive about everything, saying that there were some good things that happened last night there on the ice and all of that. But you can kind of look in his face there and some of the body language. It's a tough go right now for this team. They're trying to. They're in another spot again, but they're just trying to find something. They're trying to find something that works. And so far, they just haven't been able to find it.
And they can't get anything going on their power play, which is another thing. I mean, they had just under a minute of 5-on-3 situation. I mean, when you're in a game against Edmonton, you're at home. and you've been struggling with the
Yeah,
power play.
you need to make that work,
You get
yeah.
a two-man advantage
Yeah,
for
yeah.
like 45 seconds. Like,
Yeah.
you got to find a way, man.
Yeah.
You got a two-man advantage. You got to find a way to score.
Now, you watched that interaction last night, the 5-on-3 with the power play. Is it a situation, and I did not see it, this is why I'm asking, is it a situation where they just did not shoot the puck, or was it a situation where they just shot the puck and then nothing, they just couldn't get anything in?
Look, they're getting frustrated. That's part, you always hear the term in hockey, gripping your stick too tight.
Yeah.
Are
they gun shy then? So we're trying to
it's just they're
get
not
the yips.
I don't think it's the yips.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the hockey yips. I just think right now they've lost their confidence on the power play. It's it's just
wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, what you're saying makes sense, but it almost doesn't make sense.
Remember when Pat came on, Pat Sperdue, at the beginning of the show and said about it's so cold or your face will melt?
Yeah.
Winnipeg. You ever been to Winnipeg?
I've not been to Winnipeg. I've not
your
been to
face
Canada
will
at all.
Melt.
Okay.
By the way, you can also see for like 50 miles. Winnipeg's the flattest city I've ever been in.
Okay.
Like you can see, like if you lose your golf ball on the golf course, then that's a you problem. You can see for 50 miles.
Either that or your golf ball is white and it just snowed.
It's like I'm in Winnipeg. I think I can see Seattle.
I don't know where it's at.
That's like 500 miles away. I think I can see it. All right, that'll do it for our show today. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Stay tuned. Afternoon Stretch is next.